Okay, it's nonstop. It's going to be this way for a few months. I'll probably do a decent job of providing a buzzkill, but that's okay. You can feel free to agree or disagree wherever you want. The next couple of months, like today already, will be full of conversation about the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. It is one of the 2 or 3 most high-profile jobs in the NFL, if not the most high-profile job in the NFL. Got it? It's been that way for a long time. That's not changing. So, the discussion makes perfect sense. I mean, the speculation is probably suggested and recommended. Michael Irvin, former Cowboy Michael Irvin, poured gas on this. I don't know who he's working for now, but he poured gas on the discussion late last night when he said something. In essence, he said, hey, trust me on this. It's all but a done deal. And what he was talking about, and I think this is a fairly reliable source, I think, because he's going to know both of the players pretty well, and that would be Jerry Jones, the 110-year-old owner of the Dallas Cowboys, and he knows Deion Sanders. So I think a lot of people are inclined to say, Mike might not be the greatest journalist of all time. He's not exactly Mike Wallace or something or 60 Minutes, but Mike, he knows everybody involved and he kind of knows what he's talking about. So, hey, it sounds credible. Yeah, I'm not going to completely dismiss it. It is the topic of the day. It is going to be the topic for much of the rest of the season until it's not. It will be the topic for much of the rest of the season because it's just rock stars. First of all, you're just talking about rock stars. And Mike McCarthy is dead man walking, and the Cowboys suck, so they're irrelevant other than the discussion about the next coach. Got it? It doesn't hurt the fact that Deion Sanders is now already being mentioned and Michael Irvin is saying it's a done deal. So, don't fault anybody for wanting to talk about it. I'm going to ruin it for you, but don't fault anybody for wanting to go there. On the surface, Deion Sanders to the Cowboys makes sense to a degree. The Shedeur Sanders, Deion Sanders package deal is what Michael Irvin is talking about. And that's what Michael Irvin even said. And that's a little more complicated. Deion Sanders going to the NFL to coach is one story. Shedeur Sanders being the most prized draft pick of the draft is one story, and it's perfectly believable. Them being a package deal is a whole nother discussion, and it might be true. But I'm not sure where it's a fit. The two of them going together to an NFL franchise and dictating the terms and saying, you give the keys to my kid and you give the keys to me. It's believable, but man, there's only a few places where it could work. And I'm not even sure then. I can't rule it out. I'm not going to say Michael Irvin's wrong about this because I think he probably does know everybody involved pretty well. But I will tell you this. I will tell you why I think it's a bad idea. Why I just don't, an opinion here, because that's all we've got for the next couple of months about this. And it's a pretty fascinating setup. And I can only selfishly, I will say this. And I think this is partly true of the talk show business. I think there's a lot of selfishness that you're hearing. Would I love that package deal in Dallas? Absolutely, for my job. I want, for my job, the Dallas Cowboys to be the biggest circus possible. Yes, it would be great for the talk show business. I'm not sure it's the best thing for the football business, but of course that doesn't seem to matter much in Dallas. Okay, so there's a lot of ways to come at this. I can even put together, I like to do Venn diagrams, everybody likes to get excited when I do Venn diagrams. Instead of doing a Venn diagram today, I'm going to do a scale, a simple scale 1 through 5. I promise no Jeff Ward Venn diagrams today, at least for this day. We'll do a scale. Here goes. I think this is Colin Cowherd on Fox today, because again, be clear, this story is now energized because Michael Irvin didn't say, hey, it would be cool. He said, I'm telling you it's a done deal.
Convinced if Dallas gets the number 1 pick, and I think they have a chance to, I think they're going to draft Shedeur Sanders and hire Deion Sanders as coach. Dak has a no-trade clause. Yeah, so did Russell Wilson. You don't think Dak would waive that in 2 seconds? if they drafted Shedeur Sanders. By the way, Aaron Rodgers, March 2022. Packers signed him to the biggest annual payment deal in the league at quarterback. By April of 2023, he was a Jet. To me, it's the only way to escape the current mess. Hire a rock star head coach and draft a rock star quarterback on a rookie deal, because Dallas will probably have to pay a big chunk of Dak's contract. The Broncos did with Russell Wilson. I am convinced if...
Okay. I'm going to tell you, I could be wrong. I think it's mostly wishful thinking. I do. Again, wishful thinking, and then if you're in the talk show business, this is exactly what you want. You want dumpster fires. You want excitement. You don't want boring. And I'm okay with some of those points, except let me argue the other side of this. And as much as I want Dallas to be a circus, you know what Dallas doesn't need? You know, if you make a list, what they don't need a rock star. That franchise needs to be the opposite of the rock star. The Dallas franchise needs to be like a harp in a restaurant, not a rock star. That is the last franchise that needs rock stars. No NFL team, I'll take it further. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But no NFL team needs a coach that's a rock star. That's opposite of what you need. To succeed in the NFL, success in the NFL is exactly what Dallas doesn't have. You know what Dallas has too much of? They have too much of an old rock star, except, he's like a really washed up, out of it rock star. He's like Ozzy Osbourne is running the Dallas Cowboys kind of rock star. They have a rock star. You know what franchises really need to succeed? If we're just going to talk about, once we get away from wishful thinking in the talk show business, and wishful thinking in the talk show business is, I would love for the Cowboys to be a mess. That's fun. If we're talking about, if I'm going to sit here and give you an honest, because I believe in talk shows, your job should be intellectual honesty. If I'm to be intellectually honest, football teams in the NFL do not need rock stars as the head coach. To succeed in the NFL, you need, number one, a brilliant behind-the-scenes general manager. You need an accountant who knows the game, who you never hear from, who you never see their face. You need the creator. That's what you need first if you're going to succeed. The last thing you need is the general manager to be a rock star. Those things don't exist outside of Dallas, where the old man thinks he's a rock star. You've never seen the face of the guy that runs the Kansas City Chiefs, have you? No, and nor should you. So you need a behind-the-scenes brilliant general manager. You need a surgeon for a quarterback. Okay, I don't need my quarterback to be a rock star. I need my quarterback to be a surgeon. And then you need the absolute opposite of rock star at head coach. Got it? The only rock stars that should exist if you're to succeed in the NFL is the players. Name me a coach that's a rock star. Right? Andy Reid, which you would call a rock star? Really? No, he's the opposite of a rock star. You don't need that. No franchise needs it. And you know who really doesn't need that? The Dallas Cowboys. No. Nope. Okay, so Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders as a package deal. Okay, I mean, I can see it to some degree, but I think the places where it can work are few and far between. Listen, I think I've been saying for 2 years now that Shedeur Sanders as a quarterback-ready player, you never know, because the pro game is so much different than the college game. It is so much different. It is light years different, especially at quarterback. Okay? You don't need a runner. You need a surgeon at quarterback. And he is the most NFL-ready player that I've seen in the last couple of years as a quarterback.